Today I'm going to show you how to make Valentine decor that's going to look amazing outside or inside the house. Now I'm using materials that can be found at any local hardware store or online retailers like Amazon. So join me as I show you this awesome ride. So to begin our project, we're going to need insulation foam board. Now I got this from Lowe's, but it's available also at other hardware stores. This is 1 inch thick. This is 4 foot by 8 foot long. We're going to be making 4 different style of hearts. They're going to be heart lollipops. So I'm going to just start cutting them out. You could do 8 total, but today we're just going to do 4 unique ones. So let's get started. We're going to need a jigsaw or a utility blade. A lot of you didn't have a jigsaw in my last project that I talked about. You can use the utility blade because this is only 1 inch thick, but the jigsaw is super easy to use, so let me grab that. So we have to trace the heart out before we cut it out. I suck at drawing hearts. I've always sucked at this. So we're just going to do the best we can and hope for, oh damn, see I'm already freaking out. It doesn't look half bad. Okay, first attempt at a heart. Looks passable. Got it. Okay, so let's keep on doing this till we get the perfect heart. And this is how it should look once it's done. So quick tip, anytime I cut insulation foam board, I use this T-shank jigsaw right here. I'm going to link this one in the description below because this one's fine tooth, so it leaves these smooth edges right here. They're not jagged, it's smooth, it's not choppy and broken. So this is great when you want something like a closed cell foam like this insulation foam board. So definitely recommend switching out your jigsaw blade for a nice smooth cut. And now I'm going to use this as a template for the 4 remaining hearts. Get my marker, use it like a stencil, and let's get to cutting. So now that we've finished cutting all our hearts, we made 4 total, we're gonna start decorating them. The first one is gonna be our sprinkle heart lollipop. Right here we have this faux sprinkle. It's made out of styrofoam. This comes sold as a pack on Amazon, and it comes with all these awesome colors. So you can do it whatever color you'd like, but I'm going to be using the multicolored one. But they have this smaller multicolor as well. I'm going to go with the bigger ones, but definitely mix and match. Do whatever you want. Do all of them with sprinkles, but we're just going to do one in sprinkles. And then the actual heart, we're going to paint it pink. So as soon as we paint it with pink, we drop the sprinkles on top. So when as the paint dries, it sticks to the sprinklers. So originally I was going to paint this pink, but I'm out of pink, so I have this type of light turquoise type of color. We're going to be using this. Now, these are color samples. They're a lifesaver. They're about $4 at Lowe's, and it's just 7.75 fluid ounces. It's just enough for small projects. So I'm going to be using this on the heart, and as soon as I finish painting, we're going to put the sprinklers on top and then let this dry. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Super quick, super easy. I'm going to try not to get any on me. It's very close to the color of the insulation foam board. But like I said, you could do this one in pink, but I was out of it, so we're doing it this color. Actually going to be using the smaller version of them. Oh my gosh, look how awesome that's looking. Just put a little bit on the areas that it needs some more. So I used up almost half the bag. Once this dries, I can do the back of it and we'll be done with it. Since the sides are a little bit difficult right now to reach, I'm going to wait for this to dry before I do the sides. But yeah, we're done with the top. Now we just need to let it dry. For our second heart, we're going to be wrapping it with this awesome red foil type of wrapping paper. Now this isn't your regular wrapping paper, it's thicker and it's kind of loud. But we're going to place it on top of the heart and we're going to start attaching it to it. I'm going to be using hot glue for this. I was trying to think of another way to attach it and I was definitely not going to use tape, but we're going to use hot glue. We're going to put it on top and then we're going to cut it out to see if we can wrap it sort of nicely. Let's see how it comes out. Okay, so I've laid the paper over the heart just like that. And I have about 4 to 5 inches sticking out on this side and we're going to do the same thing on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it right over here. Perfect. And now as you can see the shape taking place. So I think I'm gonna cut it right over here. Just like that. Perfect. So now we just have to wait for the hot glue gun to get hot. But essentially what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start wrapping it just like this. And I'm going to start putting hot glue underneath it. Like I said, I haven't worked with this type of, it's sort of like wrapping paper, but it's thicker. So I'm going to see how we start putting the glue underneath it to start sticking it all together so that we can attach it. So let's hope for the best. So, like I said, with our glue gun, I'm going to start putting glue right on the top over there, just like this. And a little bit on the side because it starts to move. And then just like that, we carefully start putting it under like this. Okay, so it's really hot, so be careful when you're doing this because the heat is definitely transferring from the glue through the paper. So we're going to start doing this just like that, around, around, around. And gently folding it in onto itself. Parts that are going to be difficult are these curves over here. But if you just gently go like this, bam, look at that. Simple like this. So let's continue doing it with the glue gun. For the third heart, we're going to be covering it with fake chocolate. Now this method that I'm going to be using might be a little bit messy and it's the first time I'm doing it yet again. So let's see how it goes. So we're going to be using silicone or regular caulk. This one is white. We're going to need quite a few. I bought 4, but I might need 5. We'll figure out how many I need at the end of this. We also need brown chocolate colored paint. I have this awesome outdoor acrylic paint. It comes in this awesome little pack right here with all these awesome colors. I use it all the time, so I'll put it in the link below where I got it from. We'll need a mason jar or mixing bowl, preferably one that will never be used again for human consumption, and a spatula. This one is like a rubber little spatula we have over here. We need our caulk gun, and we need to be able to mix it all together. So we're going to empty the contents of this tube into this mason jar, put a squirt of chocolate colored acrylic paint, and then mix it up. And we'll spread it onto this here heart. Let's see how it turns out. It'll take a full 24 hours for it to harden. So this is a project that you do right now. You leave it overnight to dry, and then the next day we'll see how it looks. So let's get to painting and mixing. Okay, so let's empty these contents. Make sure that the silicone, latex caulk that you get, whichever one you decide to get, make sure it says paintable. Some of them are not paintable. And then we grab our new paint. And let's give it a squirt just like that. Let's see how that does it. And then just like this. Start mixing it up. Oh, that's actually coming out really nice. Like a white chocolate. Yeah, but it's too light, so we're definitely going to be using more. To make this easier, you could use a mixing tip and attach it to your drill. But we don't have something like that right now. So there you go. See, look at this. Okay. I don't mind this color actually. I actually don't mind this color. So before I continue, I'm gonna put on some gloves because I know this is gonna get messy. Got it. Perfect. So then we grab it like this, and just like that, you start spreading it. You could go darker than this just by adding more paint, but I think this type of white chocolate looks really good like that. It reminds me of those chocolate cups. I don't remember what they're called. They're like Jello cups. I still love eating those. And just like this. Just like that. So you keep on doing this just like that throughout the entire thing. And by the looks of it, it looks like the front of this may take 2 entire tubes. And if we do it on the back as well, it would take another 2. So it looks like it would be 4 total. Maybe 5 if you need to put more on the edges and whatnot. But look at that. So you keep on playing with this just like that. Get the right type of shapes you want on this chocolate looking heart. And we'll keep on going like this. For our last heart, we're going to be making a Sweethearts candy. And those are the cute little small ones that have a message on them. So this one will say, "Be mine." We're going to use our Dremel tool to carve this out. Now I use this method for my Halloween videos of carving out the tombstones. It's pretty simple. You grab a Dremel tool, you get the tip I'm going to show you, and then you glue this paper onto this heart right here. You let it dry, and then you start the carving process. So it's pretty simple. I think it's going to look really awesome, just like that. I used font 180 for this, and I'm going to stick it like that and then carve it out. Then we're going to paint it a light shade of pink. I think it's going to look really nice. For this part, we're going to be using Elmer's washable purple glue. This is a glue stick that comes in purple. It spreads on purple so you can see where it's going, and then it turns clear. So this is exactly what we need. So you grab your printout, you center it to where you want it, like that. So once I've put it in the place that I want it, I just quickly put these marks on the corner so that I know where it's going to be. We get our glue, we take it out like this, and then we fill in the inside. It doesn't matter if you go outside of the lines because this is super easy to wash off. And then I like to put some glue behind where the words are. Just so it gets a nice, good stick to it. Perfect. And then We put it just like that. Be mine right there. You press it down. So we're going to let this dry for several hours. I normally just let it dry for about 2 to 3 hours, or you could just leave it overnight so you can do it the next day. But we're going to let it dry for a couple hours, and then once it's dry, we're going to grab our Dremel tool and we're just going to start outlining it and then carving out the inside. I'm going to link the video where I show in great detail how to use a Dremel tool. I'm going to try to link the YouTube video right here on the left, or is it your right, my left? It's a Halloween video of carving tombstones. The same process is being used here. Super simple, and it just makes everything look cool and realistic. So let's get to it. Now to carve it, I'm going to be using my Dremel tool. Now I use this for all my projects. I love this attachment that it has here, and I also have these rotary tools right here that we're going to use to carve it. I always use these at the end right here, the thicker ones. Since this produces dust, make sure you wear a mask or a respirator. I always wear a respirator. And if you want, you can do it outside to lessen the dust all over the place. Make sure you wear hearing protection and eye protection, and let's get started. Again, like I said before, to see how I carve these things in detail, check out the Halloween YouTube video right here. I think I'm going to put the link, hopefully I can put the link right up there, where you can actually see how it's done up close and personal, and it's just super fun. You can do gravestones, you can do engravings like this. So let's get started. Lastly, to remove this Be Mine paper that we did, all we have to do is run it under warm or hot water. Once you get it nice and wet, actually I'm going to use this one here, the glue will turn purple again, and then you can start picking off the paper. And then this just peels right off, just like that. Then once you peel it all off, you rinse all of this glue out and then dry it, and it's ready to be painted. So this is what it should look like. All the paper and the glue is gone, and look at that. It came out so nice. So now I'm going to be using this color sample here. It's just in a shade of pink that I found. You can pick any shade you want. And I'm going to be painting the pink on this. And these words here, I'm probably going to do a raspberry or a darker color red perhaps for the words so they stand out. So let's get to painting. When you finish painting everything, we're going to attach a PVC pipe to the back of our hearts, just like this. Now this one is an unfinished heart, but what we want to do is get our PVC pipe, place it like that flat on the ground, and then put expanding foam all around it. The expanding foam acts like an adhesive. So once it dries, it'll be very stable in windy conditions and it won't rip off. So you want to put the expanding foam on the back of the unfinished heart. Once it dries, then you can paint it, then you can cover it, but you definitely want to do it like this before you finish doing it. I'm using 3/4 inch PVC that's been cut. You don't need to do this, but I want the hearts to look like lollipops, so they're going to be standing with this PVC pipe in the yard. So let's get to doing it. I'm using window and door expanding foam, because it doesn't expand as much as the Great Stuff Big Gap expanding foam. So let me show you how I'm going to do it real quick. So for this part, we're using window and door Great Stuff expanding foam. This one doesn't expand as much as the Big Gaps one. So this is the one we definitely want to use on the back of them. So let's get our heart, and we're going to put the finished side, or the side you want to face the street or when people come up. Well, we're going to put it down. As you can see, the back is unfinished. We haven't finished this because we want to attach the PVC first. Now we use this method because Great Stuff expanding foam is a great adhesive, and it's going to hold this PVC pipe to this heart really well. And it gets kind of windy here, so I need something that'll stand up to the elements, and this is the best way I have found that it works for me. So make sure that you measure however tall you want it to be. I already did, so I want the PVC pipe for this heart to come about halfway. So what I'm going to do is after I've shaken this for about a minute, we're going to put a single small bead of line like this, halfway. That way we can put this up there and then just kind of move it about like that. So then put some expanding foam on the side, on the other side as well, and then just crisscross the top like this. There we go. And I always like to put a little extra on the sides. And there we go. Now, I just need to raise the end of it so that it's laying flat completely. But this is going to be dry in a couple of hours. So I'm just going to leave this overnight and I can start tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm going to be able to paint this and finish it. So just make sure that when you put your PVC pipe, it's nice and straight. So it's aligning with that area right there. And then we're good. We'll do it to all the other hearts. And then, like I said, when it dries, finish the back. Do the fake chocolate, do the paint, do the sprinklers, whatever you want to do. And we are done. To finish, we need to put our Valentine's Day lollipops outside. And in order to keep them upright, we have to use rebar. Now this is 2 feet of rebar. You can find it at any hardware store. And if this was the ground, we're gonna just hammer it into the ground about 8 to 10 inches. Once it's in the ground, we can grab our lollipop and PVC and simply slide it over the rebar. So if this was our lollipop right here, just that simple. And this way it'll stay upright in windy, rainy conditions. It always works out for me. Now some of you may live in areas with rocky or very hard soil. And a workaround would be to get a bucket, maybe a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up with a little bit of cement, and then put your PVC inside, or maybe fill it up with some stone or brick. I live in North Carolina. It's very easy to hammer things into the ground here. So rebar has always been my friend in these situations, and that's how you keep them upright. Just wanted to share that tip with you. Before I go, I quickly wanted to say thank you to Manny Torres of Manny's Paper Fun. He helped me come out with 2 of these designs for the Valentine's Day heart. And I'd also like to say thank you to my best friend, Michael Leon from Chicago, for helping me pick out the Be Mine heart that came out so awesome. So thanks to both of you.